Hey, and welcome everybody to the Google Education Group. New Zealand, welcome. Great to see you again on a Thursday night. A little bit of rain in Auckland, but Aotearoa is the most beautiful country and place on the planet. So great to have you with us this evening. I'd like to introduce our team that's with us this evening. Matua Quaid, say hi.
Kia ora te whānau.
Great to have you here, Quaid. And Mark from UTB. He's looking very stoic, and he's here with us. And Richard from UTB.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Hi, everybody.
Great to have you with us. Just as we always do as part of our kaupapa, we're going to hand over to Quaid for a karakia to start the evening off for us. So I'm just going to remove the rest of us while Quaid does that.
Kia ora e te whānau. Feel free to take a screenshot. Looks like there's a couple, one too many Google Education New Zealand logos, but kei te pai, the more the merrier. Let's start off with the karakia because we're going to have an awesome live stream full of amazing learning, sharing, connecting, all that good stuff. So, me karakia tātou. Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga. Kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā taratara ki tai. E hi aki ana te atākura. He tio, he huka, he hauhu, ti hei mauri ora. Kia ora, bring my team back on.
Kia ora, Quaid. Thank you very much for that. Awesome. Hey, so I'd like to introduce everybody and give them the chance to introduce themselves. Mark has some up and down internet and bandwidth issues, so hopefully he can jump in and introduce himself. But we'll start with Bex. Welcome. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Kia ora te whānau. My name's Bex and I am from Using Technology Better. I have actually got a bit of a hybrid role at the moment because I am not only at UTB, I'm also the Deputy Principal of the beautiful Brookby School in South Auckland. And so I get to do the best of both worlds. I get to play facilitator and meet lots of amazing educators from all over New Zealand, as well as have my own little whānau in Brookby. So loving my role at the moment and excited to see you all tonight.
Great to have you with us. Why don't you choose who's next?
Oh, let's check on Mark while he's still there, eh? Let's see, is he there? Oh, yeah. And he's frozen, but he's frozen really beautifully. So well done, Mark, on that. Richard, take it away, Richard.
All right. I feel like I need to freeze in a good pose as well. All right. My name is Richard. I'm also with UTB. I'm relatively new to the company. I've been there about 2 months now, about the same time we've been in lockdown, actually. So it's been a very interesting start, but I'm loving my role. I was former teacher, year 4-5 at Mission Heights in Flatbush, Auckland, for about the last 5 years. So, yeah, this is a nice new change and such a steep learning curve, but I'm absolutely loving it.
Wonderful. And the reason that we've got Bex and Richard and hopefully Mark here is that Quaid and I are at Panama Road School. So I'm the Director of Development. I'm there 4 days a week. Quaid is there some days of the week as well, and we work together in Team Tipu. So we get to work with our alternative education program, Work and Community. He's waving the brand there, which is awesome, and really to support teachers with education technology and innovative things that the school and community wishes to do. And so we have a PLD contract with the Ministry of Education. They funded professional development with a number of different organizations, and one of them is UTB. And so because of that, we heard about previously during lockdown, UTB offered to do some professional development for us in an innovative new way. And so I saw that, again, UTB had offered to do the PLD in a new way, in a different way, and online, and be very supportive. So they mentioned about doing a masterclass over a period of days in this new Google environment that we have for education and some of the new tips and tricks and tools. So I reached out to them and said, hey, why don't you jump on Thursday night with us and share just 3 or 4 or 5 of those tips so people can get an idea of it and they can opt in if they want to, and then come back and look at this video and share the recording of this with their colleagues and friends. So what I'd like to do is to just hand over to Bex so she can talk about that a bit more, because she coordinates the PLD and school relationships. So Bex, over to you.
Cool. All right. Yes. So I'm so excited. I get to meet lots of different schools from all over New Zealand who reach out to us. We've got an incredible team of trainers who know far more than I do, and that'll probably be demonstrated tonight when I try and show some of the things, because Mark's internet's fallen off again. So it looks like we are it. So I'm not a trainer, but I am with UTB, and we use Google, the Google Workspace within our company, and I've just applied for my school to get it as well. But luckily we've had a few little bits of we've had tasters of it through UTB. So we're here to share some of these new key awesome features, and we can, are we going to get away straight away with it, Craig, or did we want to talk a bit more about the PLD?
No, I think that's good. Just to make really clear that there are some schools that have applied to the Ministry of Education for a number of hours to be funded by the MOE for hiring professional development deliverers, approved deliverers.
That's right.
And UTB is one of those. And our school has UTB, and we have another contract as well. But just to make it clear, so if your school has a PLD contract, then that's been delivered in an innovative way by UTB. And if you don't have a PLD contract, you could reach out to the ministry and talk to them about providers, and UTB is one of those. So that opportunity is actually there. And so just want to make it clear, if you've got a PLD contract, mate, the world's your oyster, and you can do it in an innovative way, right?
Yes, and also I can help with getting those PLD contracts as well.
Yeah.
I love helping schools formulate their journey plan and submit their application into the ministry. It can be quite clunky here and there, so I'm here to help formulate that and tell these stories, so that how the PLD can support their staff, their kids, and their community.
Yeah,
I would love
fantastic.
to quickly vouch as well. As an educator with a very interesting schedule and a lot of different meetings on at different times of the day, doing the UTB professional development was really cool. The educators were really nice, and I really enjoyed it. As someone who has a lot of different things on, it was really cool.
Oh, awesome. Craig. That's great to hear.
Hey, so Bex, over to you. And if there's questions and things, we may jump in just to make sure that you can answer them in real time. We will pop them up on the screen there as well. So hopefully you can see them. If you can't, we'll jump in. But really over to you for the next 10 or 15 minutes before we jump back in, okay?
Right, cool. Okay, so what there's been, the Google Workspace is something that has been very widely publicized, that it's come out and it's free for New Zealand schools. Okay, in the past it has cost money to upgrade your Google account, so now it's free for schools, and with that Google Plus account you get some really cool new features. So one of the ones that I'm going to share is about our Google Sites. Now bear with me, remembering I'm just a mere deputy principal at a school, and I'm just trying to share my screen, and if it all turns to custard, let's see how this goes. All right, so I'm just going to share. Oh, also, please don't, if you see my tabs, please don't judge my amount of tabs. It's like my brain is open on a million different things at the moment. Okay, so I am going to share my screen. Let's see if this works. I'm Chrome tab, and I'm going to share. Sorry about this, and this new tab, because I'm just going to start straight from the beginning. Okay, so in the waffle, I am going to go to Sites, and in Google Sites now, when you have a new blank site, you don't have to go with the crazy old boring themes. So we can create our own themes now, which I got really excited about, because that's something that I get a little bit down rabbit holes with. I always like to make things look pretty. So up here where the themes are, down the side here, you can now press that little plus button and you can create your own theme. So I'm going to call it Bex is bored with lockdown, because I am. All right, so now you can create a theme of any of these colors. Now I'm going to go for this pretty blue color thing here, and you can select the fonts that it'll default to. So I'm a big fan of the old Poppins. Where we are, there we go. I love the Poppins. For the titles and headings, I'm going to go bold, and down here I am going to go medium, and I'm going to create the theme. So There we go. My theme is ready to go, and I can populate this site as per normal, but with my own very own themes. And you can see the themes there, the colors there, and the text and the images all the same, but with your own theme. So that is something that's very exciting and cool, and new, which is exciting. All right, Richard, do you want to go with the next one?
Yep, I'm going to show you guys how to do a watermark in a Google Doc. So this is a new feature. It's really, really exciting. And it's something that you haven't been able to do until recently. So I'm going to share my screen very quickly. There we go. All right, you're seeing the screen all right there?
I can see it.
Okay. All right, so if we come across to insert, there's an option down here that wasn't there previously. Now, it has a blue new, and the first time or a couple of times that you use it, you'll see that, then it'll disappear. All right, so if you click on that, on the right-hand side, we get an option to put an image in here. And let's see if we got, should we put a UTB one in? No, we'll do Google Chrome. It is, there we go. So we can scale it if we want, and we can fade it a little bit, and it sits in the background behind the text, and it can't be moved like a watermark. We can shrink it down or make it bigger, but I think that 100% was spot on for what we want. And there is our watermark, as easy as that. And that is me.
Cool. So the next one I thought was really exciting, and I was wondering how we could use this with the kids in class. And it is the new the tag. It has got heaps of really cool new functions. So once again, I'm going to share my screen and show you the new so sure, Chrome tab.
This is exciting. I really love this feature.
This is really, really cool. And it's just an abundance of things you can do with it. So on docs, grab your new doc and have a look at this. So I can choose people that I'm obviously, these two are my people I talk to lots when I'm using technology better. I can add a template, a meeting notes template, which actually we can have a talk about as well. I can add files, which is really easy to do now rather than having to add a link. I can add a checklist or a numbered list or a bullet point list. I can add any kind of media. This is what I thought was really, really cool. So for our kids that are writing over a period of a week or something, so say they're doing their writing task and the first one is the ideation and they start doing their brainstorming and things like that. And then the next day they go on to maybe formulating the introduction. At each given moment, they could add their date. So they don't even need to know the date because I don't know the date at the moment. We're on lockdown. We've been on lockdown for many, many days. So here you go, today's date. I'm going to insert it and it tells me, wow, it is the 28th of October. I actually didn't know that. And then,
even better than that, Bex, if you put in the @ and then you just type in the word today, it'll drop it in for you automatically. So you don't have to search for that whole list.
There we go. That is a trick I didn't even know. So thank you very much for that. And the other thing down here, headings, calendar events. So look what I'm doing today. I was going to GEG with Craig. So that's exciting. And tomorrow I have coffee and tips time. That's exciting. So I can add those calendar events in, page components, and more. So have a little play around with that @ tag. It has got an abundance of excitement attached to it nowadays. Right. And the meeting templates. Now, it's not something that I've actually played around with yet. Have you played around with it, Richard?
Which one's that, sorry?
The meeting templates.
Oh, yes. I haven't used it from Docs, but I have been using it within Google Meet. So,
okay.
And calendar. So if you're in the calendar, there's a little option there. Do you want to go into calendar now?
Yep, jump into that.
Just while you're doing that, we had a question on the screen there from Jonas Bex, just asking if the watermark could be done as a header or a footer. Is that possible to put it in that space?
I'm not too sure. Let's have a. I'm going to play around with it right now.
Yeah, I haven't tried myself, but I was thinking though, if you were to do a header, I'll give it a quick try now. Insert, do a little one. No.
It doesn't look like it, no.
No, there's no reason that you couldn't put an image into a watermark anyway. It might work that way, but it's not quite what it's designed for. But you always do have that little question mark in Google, and so if you want to suggest that to the Google team, they are always checking that, and they really do take those suggestions on. So
they do.
If that's something you want, ask for it. You might just get.
Yeah, absolutely. So what were you showing us in calendar, Richard?
All right. Okay, I'm going into calendar now.
I must admit that calendar has been my absolute game changer this year. Using it efficiently has just been incredible. And if you want to learn more about little bits like that, like if you want to just quickly upskill, on YouTube, UTB have got learner bites, little bite-sized information bits and pieces. So you can just jump onto YouTube, search UTB, and they've got bite-sized pieces of upskilling. They're really handy.
Okie doke. I'm also very guilty of, this is only one of my screens, so my tabs don't look too bad, but they fell within their look. All right. So what we can do over here is if we're putting in an appointment, there is an option. Maybe we better give it a name.
More options?
Maybe. Okay, so down here, there's create meeting notes. So in the description field, so when we come in and click on that one, it actually opens up a doc. Now, it won't activate until we save it, but once we do save, and then we come back to this meeting, there we go. So sometimes it does take a second to become live. There is now a little document that is saved within our meeting. So if I duplicate this meeting as well, so of course, as you probably know with Google, I'm just going to close this for a second. With Google, you can't copy and drag to make another copy of this meeting. We need to go to the three dots, or the snowman as I like to call it. And there's an option here for duplicate. So we can then say, if we're going to be dedicated, we're going to work on Saturday. My grandmother is turning 98 on Saturday.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
All good. So, yeah. So that meeting notes that we created is going to be on both copies because it's actually a link to that document. So now we can open it up, and this is what we get. So we can put on agenda items or action items, things that we need to do. I don't know. Look that up. I just love the spelling. All right, so as that's done, we tick off those items. It crosses it off. You can put notes on there. You can put your attendees who attended the meeting, who was absent. So you've got a record, and it's attached to that meeting, which is really, really useful.
So that meeting note template, Richard, is that customizable so you can change it and it appears as you've customized it each time?
I don't think so yet. This is a brand new feature, so maybe that's something that's going to come in the near future. If it is, I can look into it a little bit further tomorrow, and if there is a way to do that, I'll find out and I'll let you know, and you can pass it on to your members.
Awesome. Bex and Richard, just while you're getting your next one ready, I just had a personal message about sharing something that I heard that you could do. So can I share that just while you're getting ready for your next thing?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Absolutely. Go for it.
Okay, here we go. Hold on to your horses. So here we go. So I don't know if you can see my Gmail there. You can. So in Gmail, it's always good to look for the drop-down arrows. So around the screen, you can see certain drop-down arrows. So you notice on my email here, Bex, you've got your mic on. Can you see my message, the new message I've just put up?
I can.
Awesome. So I'm always thinking about things. And, if you're a school leader or a team leader or you're running a project, you know that you've always got things going around in your head, and you can either write it down hard copy, or you could actually set up those email messages to go out to your team members, or to go out to, the boss or the budget holder or someone else. But you can set the time in the day that the message goes out, because no one really likes getting a bing bong at 11 o'clock at night. But my brain is always working, so I've got to get it out of my brain. So on this email here, you can see I've got a message. Hey team, ensure you bring your budgets and your planners to the meeting and your self-reflections. Now, that's really important information. I should tell them that, but probably not at 10:15 at night. So I'm going to type up my email, and I'm going to put I'm actually going to put Quade's email, though we do have a team email address. And tomorrow, bring to the meeting. And then as we look around the screen, you can see the big blue send button, but there's a drop down arrow next to it. So as I click on that, it says schedule send. So I'm clicking schedule send, and then I can choose one of the nominated times here, or I can select the date and time. So I'm going to choose tomorrow, and then I'm going to change that time to 8 a.m. and I'm going to schedule the send. And what that means is, you can see down the bottom left-hand side, it's scheduled to send tomorrow to Quade at 8 a.m. in the morning. So what does that mean? It means I've got this out of my brain. I've captured the information that I know the team need for tomorrow's meeting, but they're going to receive it an hour in advance, so they have enough time to deal with it, but I'm not interrupting their personal time.
And that's so important at the moment, Craig, because we are really, we're heightened well-being is at the forefront for our staff and our teachers, and sending things in the middle of the night. And I know I'm exactly the same as you, Craig. I need to get it off my head, or else it just keeps going round and round and round. And that send later function has been an absolute godsend to us, and also to our community. So our staff have been pushing out the email for the next day for especially our junior school over lockdown. And I know a lot of them just want to get it done at the end of the day, ready for the next morning, so they don't have to worry about it the next day. So they type it all up the night before, and then use that send later function so that it's there in the inbox for the community the next day.
I'll just show you the comment in case you missed it, from Adriana. Okay. Sometimes I use schedule send to make it look like I'm working at ridiculous times.
Adriana, you're not alone. I've done that as well.
Or awesome. Throughout the day, so it looks like you've been working the whole entire day.
Schedule them every 5 minutes. Okay, back to you.
Awesome. All right, Richard, I'm going to show, are you happy to help me with this? I'm going to show Jamboard, which has been an absolute game changer for us over lockdown. So,
absolutely.
And
before we do that, Bex, can I just segue something on the back of what they were saying? The schedule task, the other thing that you can do with that is in Google Classroom. So if you're posting an assignment in Google Classroom, you can actually schedule that so that it doesn't go out until the following day, maybe 8 a.m. Because you know that if you do it on a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday evening, you get that one child that goes in there and does all the work before you even get to school. So unfortunately, so one, if they ordered that one, but that one, you know,
what a great tip, Richard. That's so true. And I can picture those kids in my head straight away.
My wife's a high school teacher at Sacred Heart, and she's been doing the same thing. So they're posting, she's getting organized with all the exams that she's posting in Google Classroom, and she's posting it so it becomes available at 9 a.m. or whatever time that class or the exam starts, and then it shuts off. And of course, they're giving them lots of extra time because of taking photos and uploading all the details that they're doing. So great tool, also in Google Classroom.
Awesome tip. And that's something that's so cool about Google, isn't it? Is that it goes over all the platforms. So it means that every app feels the same and looks the same and has the same functionality. That's what I love the most about Google. And this is another one that has been incredible. And I've actually used it both in the classroom and for staff meetings. And we use it a lot at UTB as well for our brainstorming. So Jamboard, it's in the 9 dots. It's in the 9 dots or the waffle. You press plus, and here comes a Jamboard. So think of this as an online whiteboard, or one of those modeling books if you're doing reading or a group session. this is an online version. And I tell you what, once you use this, you'll never go back because these are fantastic. So it has lots of different functionalities. You can call it whatever you want to call it, just like you do for, so Bex's Jamboard, and I might call this reading. Okay, so, or actually, no, I'm going to call it maths because it is awesome to use with maths groups. So you can set the background however you want, and voila, for maths, you've even got the squares, which is really, really handy. But you can change it to lots of different things. Or I did a staff meeting on Tuesday with my staff, and I actually put up photos of our kids because we missed them so much, and we were doing some brainstorming for some things for next year, and it just kind of reminded us what our why was. So you can choose your own image as well, but lots of different options there. You can have lines, or you could just have a plain background, whatever you want. Now, for example, let's say you've got a maths group, and you are using your modeling book, and you normally, just do your writing. So say today, okay, so today my daughter was doing fractions, not something that I'm very good at, to be fair. But so, for example, she was, I'm just going to turn that bang back to white. Oh, you can change all the display, all that kind of thing as well. I'm just going to turn it back to white. Okay, so you can use a text box here, and you can type in, oh, it's on white. You can type in whatever you might need to type. So, for example, I might do, let's do addition. Do you want to type something in? You can also use a pen. So I might do 4 + 4, and then you can rub it out. You can select. The stickies are something that we've been using heaps for staff meetings. So you might have, okay, so let's go back to, you can check, sorry, I'm talking a bit fast. I'm getting a bit excited.
The beauty of this too is if you're doing an online lesson, or the children are in the classroom and they've got tablets or Chromebooks or whatever device they've got, they can actually be interacting and putting their ideas and sharing their sticky notes. Same as a big piece of paper on the wall, like we've all done. So they're interacting, they're getting their ideas, and it's all in real time. So it's happening at the same time.
Absolutely. I should have probably mentioned that, Richard, that it's a collaborative doc. So I could have a few little questions down here, and I might have, 3 + 3. And then I'll say, right, Richard, you're going to be right. You're going to do the answer to this one. And Sally, you're going to be doing the answer to this one. And you can gauge their learning, if they've understood something, all sorts of things. You can do shapes. You can add pictures, files to make it look pretty, and you can share this Jamboard when you're on a Google Meet or whenever you're online, even at school. You've got pages just like a book, so you can turn to the next page. And this is something that I have done for a staff meeting. So I said, so positives from lockdown that you want to take back to your class. Okay, so we did something like that. So I just had that topic here. You can make it bigger, you can make the title bigger, whatever you want to do. And these are your little mates here. So sticky notes, so you can choose the color. So you might have themes. If you want to have themes, you can have, if they're all things that you're missing from outside, or things like resources you're missing, you could have them all in pink, that kind of thing. So, and then you just type on your sticky notes. So positives, taking away, so the use of Google Classroom, and that's something we're definitely going to be taking back into school. And then you might have, and then you can add another one. So I'm positives is going to be using Jamboards with my groups. I'm going to save that. We've got a great
question from Bev here, Bex.
Yeah.
She's asking, how do we share this with the students?
Oh, okay. All right. Let's have a look. So just like Google Docs, and just like slides, and just like all of them, you click the share button. Then you change it to whoever you want to share it to. So I'm going to change them to editors, and I'm going to have anyone with the link.
Or if I'm just quickly.
Yeah, pardon?
Can you type my email address in there just quickly?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's type it in there.
Thank
And I'm going to go. Okay, wait. I'm just going to. What have I done here? Hang on, wait. Let's start again. Here we go. So I'm going to share with Richard. Here we go. And here you go. Sending it to him so he can have a go with it. And that is as easy, just like your Google Docs, just like your slides. It's just, that's what's so cool about Google, is that it feels familiar every single thing you go into.
If you're running one of your online lessons through Google Classroom as well, so not Google Classroom or Google Meet, there's actually a feature within there where you can open a Jamboard straight within that Google Meet, so everybody's got access to it straight away, which is really, really handy.
That is fantastic. I think now that I'm a bit out of the classroom, I miss out on all those cool things. I just kind of hear from my awesome teachers that are using them, but they are definitely using these Jamboards all over the show. Is there any other functionalities on here that I've missed, Richard?
There is the best one. Okay, you can also you can also collaborate and integrate it. Sorry, with Canva and other devices. So I'm just going to pop onto here in one sec. I'm going to open it. So we're going to stay on Bex's screen. But I'm opening up her. Oh, no, stay on. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I see you.
That's brilliant. Great. Okay, so I'm in there now. You can see my little icon in the top right-hand corner.
Yep,
so I'm on page 1. Now, actually, I will take the screen and I'll show you why, because I'm going to go to Canva and get a background.
Oh, cool. I love how Canva's now talking to Google lots. Canva's another one of those rabbit holes that I get in deep into.
I didn't know about Canva when I was in the classroom. I wish I had.
Game changer.
Yeah. All right. So just in the comment board, if you haven't used Canva, can you just maybe just give me a heads up that you haven't used it so that we can know? All right. Now, where is Canva? Here we go. So what I did is I just typed in the word sensors, for example. So then there's all these different boards have come up. So I'm going to go and I'm looking for one that had free on it, which this one did. So that I like free. Here we go. Take this for a little while. So we can download this image straight away. It's
download as an image, not a PDF. Yeah.
PNG is the one I like to do. I find it works really, really well. JPEGs are great as well. So let's do that as a PNG file.
Yeah, that's the trick. I always forget to do that. And then you go, where's the image gone? And I can't upload the image, but you download it as a PDF. So make sure you download it as an image.
I'm going to create a third Jamboard, and this one's going to, it says maths, but we're going to do our writing on this one. So we can set a background now. And we had all these great ones that Bex showed us before. We have the dots and we have the maths. Oh, that reminds me. But we also, don't let me forget to talk about the Jamboard app.
Okay.
Because the app is different to the web-based one. And it is very, very cool. All right, so now I need to go and browse and find that PNG. I'm assuming it's this one. No, it can't be.
Recent. Hasn't come up.
Downloads. It should be there. That's odd. Today. I just did it. Oh, no, it's not that one. All right, maybe we go back and try that one more time.
And this is the joy of doing these kind of things. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a little bit longer. Did it?
No. Let's try this one more time. So I've actually, unfortunately,
I think Richard, it's chosen a PDF format. You might need to change it to PNG.
Thank you. What is it doing to me? I'm just going to get rid of that one that I've changed that to PNG, and that should work.
Yeah, that should work. It says it's already done it though, but let's give it another whirl.
All right, here it is down here. So that's certainly going to help. All right, one more time.
Upload, browse.
Come on, don't do this to me.
It is. Red up the top.
Is it? Red and blue? All right, that's the one.
That'll be it.
Fantastic.
They call them funny things.
Yeah. The great thing about this now, because we've set it as a background, it means that none of the children or anybody can move it. So if you were talking to the children and say, okay, put a sticky note, and you can have all the children putting sticky notes on here on things that they can see. And I always get them to write their name so you know who you're getting feedback from. Things that I can see, trees. I can see lots of trees outside my window right now, and rain. So I've done that. I can create another one. I can see rain, and I probably should have put my name. All right, so there it is. Bex has got her ones. Delicious pizzas. Yum. I can see my trees. I can smell the rain. All right, so you can start getting lots of conversation going, which is really, really good. And the kids are so excited, and they want to be dropping lots of ideas on. And they find if they put their name on it, they get ownership of what they're doing, which is fabulous. Now, before I was saying, the thing that you do not want to forget is the app. So on the Jamboard, if you download to your phone or to a tablet, there is an app. Now, there's a whole bunch of features on the app that we don't have. Hang on, I've lost everybody. You can still see me. There we go. I can see you again. All right, so on the app, there's a whole bunch of features. For example, if you draw a triangle with a stylus, even if your triangle is rough as guts, you're going to get the most perfect geometric triangle. If you write your name in even your messiest handwriting, it will convert it into typed text for you. If you draw a circle, you will get a perfect geometric circle. It is very, very cool to play with. Now,
that's great, because the kids always laugh at my drawings.
you saw Bex's handwriting before when she was doing 4 + 4 = and mine's going to be even worse if I try and do that with a mouse. But if you do it with a stylus, you can write an equation. You can do x + y = whatever you like, and you can do it as much detail as you want, as if you were using a real-life old-fashioned pencil. It is absolutely fantastic.
And do you know what the best thing, I think, just to finish off with that Jamboard, is that it's there for the kids to refer to all the time. So if you've taught them a strategy, or you've taught them something that they need to go back to if they're doing a follow-up activity, it is so accessible for them. So it's really useful tool.
That's fantastic. I do want to check Bex and Richard. Do you have one more? Just before we wrap up, we've got about 5 minutes left. Just want to check.
Do you want to do
Moat?
Oh, yes, Moat. Have we used Moat before?
We've done some moating. We've had a great couple of sessions with Moat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, seeing as we're working remotely, we might do this one again quickly if you guys want to hear what it is. But I think it's such a fabulous tool for giving that real feedback and saving so much of your time as a teacher. So should we have a quick look at Moat?
Yep. Do a quickie for us. That'd be great.
All right. One real quickie. So I'm going to open up a blank document first.
And just while you're doing that, Richard, we've had huge success with our dyslexic students with Moat. It has really opened up learning for them 100%. It has been incredible. So this is an incredible tool.
One of my favorites.
Just while you're getting it ready, Richard, one of the questions we always get is, does it cost? In the free version, how many seconds can you record a message for? Is it 20 seconds or 30 seconds?
Like
30 seconds?
It's more than you want. If you're recording a message more than 30 seconds, it not only will it record the message, but it will transcribe the message too, so they can listen to it and read it at the same time. They can respond in Moat too, so they can talk back. It gets them seeing their speech turn into text, which just encourages them even more. It's fantastic. So I'm going to very quickly share that screen again. And nothing's happening quickly today.
It's the rain on the roof. Dev uses Moat as well. She's watching at the moment, and she says it's great.
Cool. So I'm going to go into one of my fake Google Classrooms here. Oh, I won't upgrade that right now. Okay, so 3D fractions.
That upgrade is because you can now nickname your meets, so they're easier for the kids to get to. So you could nickname it Richard's class or Mrs. Rose's class, that kind of thing.
Mrs. K. It's my weekend name. Okay, so if I go to, pretty sure I've got some stuff here I'm writing. Okay, so let's, this is a cool one too. Maybe we can talk about this next time. No, we'll move this. Okay, so we've got a writing prompt here. So somebody's created, and let's pretend that they've done their writing and they've submitted it. So what have we got here? There is nothing. This is not great. This is what happens when you try to do stuff on the fly. All right, so it's one of the plugins. So it sits up here with the extensions. I've currently got it turned off, but I'm going to hit the pin over here, and that will put this purple M, well, the white M on a purple circle. And now I can open up. All right. So when we come in here and some child has done their bother. Okay, not going to work perfectly for me because I haven't got some work to do it. But when you've got a child's work and you want to give them feedback on that, and you've got the Moat icon turned on, it'll be sitting there. You click on that and you can start recording a Moat message. It's really great, and it will just attach that voice message, and it will also transcribe it for you straight into their work, and then you can submit it. They can listen to it and read it, and then they can also talk back and give you feedback on how they're going to amend or change or make their writing or maths or whatever it is even better. Great talk.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And if you are interested in Moat, about 4 weeks ago, just before our holidays, we actually had a session on Moat. So please do look back in the recordings, whether you're on Facebook, look in the GEG New Zealand group, or you could look on the YouTube channel, the University of Applied Research and Development video channel on YouTube, or look for my profile, Craig Hansen, on LinkedIn, and you'll find the recording there as well. Just before we do wrap up, I got someone just message me again privately saying about do the fonts. So just give me 30 seconds and I'll do the fonts. So I'm just going to share my screen before we wrap up. And let me know, Bex, when you can share my screen. We see my screen. Thank you.
There it is.
Wonderful. So just on the Google Docs, when you're using Google Docs, one of the original complaints was the fonts are really boring, but I like fonts. And when you go to the format menu, directly underneath that, we've got the normal text with the styles. Then we have our font menu. And often we neglect to see, like the little drop-down arrow next to the send menu in Gmail, at the top of the screen, at the top of the menu, it actually says more fonts. So if we click on more fonts, it opens up a number of different fonts and different scripts that you can actually add to your Google document. And when you add it once, it will be there every time that you open up your Google Doc. So if you click on it and then you just click OK, it'll add it. And one of the fonts which is really nice to add is called Railway. If you don't have Railway, I've already installed it into Google Docs. So you can find Railway and click it and add it. And it's a very nice, easy to read font. And research shows that it can be read and it is assistive. So here's my name here. I'm just going to highlight it and change the font to Railway. I'm just going to dismiss that because I didn't really want to get a notification, but you can see that the font is quite crisp, quite clear, and easy to read. And if you really like the Railway font, I'm going to put go to the, and I'm not going to finish it because I might convert it to a to-do for me. So notice the font is Railway. And if I want Railway to be my font all the time, or you find a font that you want to be your font all the time, you just have to highlight the text. Go up to your style menu, and normal text is what is always shown. So just follow the arrow across and it'll go, it says here, update normal text to match style. So if I click that, instead of my normal text being Arial font, if I click that, now my normal font style, if you can see it says normal, it says Railway. So whenever I open up Google Docs, I'll have that Railway font as my normal text style in this document. So just a quick little tip there, where you find other fonts and how you can add them in, and then also how you can change your styles. Hey, look, I really want to thank you, Richard.
Opened a rabbit hole.
Say that again.
I didn't know about those more fonts, so you've created a problem. I'm going to fall down that rabbit hole, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a rabbit hole, yeah. Beautiful fonts. Look, I really want to thank you, Bex, for being with us and stepping in and running the show, because Mark had trouble with connections. You jumped in and like a real trooper, as all educators are. You just made it happen. So thank you very much.
Had lots of fun. Thank you.
You're amazing. And Richard, thank you very much for jumping in. I know you were going to be the cheerleader, but you had to jump in and actually demonstrate for us. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Have fun.
Brilliant. And as I ended last week, I do want to remind everybody here who's on the call, is just before you go, is that things are tough. Things become challenging when you're working from home, and you can really get over it. And you can get over being locked inside. You can get over the lack of interpersonal connection. You can get over it. But just really want to encourage you, the end is nigh. Those percentages are going up. We're going to get our freedom back. And I just want to remind you that educators and teachers and school leaders and support staff, what you do is incredibly valuable. Don't ever think that your contribution that you make every single day, when you log on and you prepare and 5 kids come on, or 20 kids come on, or 1 kid comes on, or some teachers don't turn up to the staff meeting because they had traffic going from the bathroom to their laptop. It's not about you. It's not about you. What you do every single day really does matter. It matters for the people you communicate with and for the people around them, because you're giving them connection. And when you change a child's life, you change a family. And when you change a family, you change a neighborhood, you change a community, and you can change a nation. So what you do every single day, teachers and educators, is really powerful. So don't get up. Don't be disheartened. The end is nigh. The normal won't be as it was. It'll be a new normal, but we will get through this, and we'll get through it together. So stay in the GEG Educators group. Stay with your colleagues. Stay connecting. And we look forward to seeing you back here next Thursday night. So to reach out for PLD opportunities just before Quade ends with a beautiful karakia, Bex, should people reach out to you?
Absolutely, yes. My email's been drifting across there, but basically you just have to remember Bex and then at Using Technology Better, and I can help scaffold you through a PLD application to the Ministry of Education.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone who did comments and questions in the chat, either on Facebook or on LinkedIn or in the GEG Educators group for New Zealand. Thanks very much for being here. And we're going to hand it over to Quade to wrap up and end the evening for us. Thank you, Bex. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Mark from UTB, for making this happen for us.
And on behalf of UTB, thanks for having us.
Quade, you are muted.
Thank you for that, Craig. I will reshare my screen. I just wanted to test everyone's lip reading abilities, and I will find it again. So once again, feel free to take a screenshot of this beautiful karakia. There might be one too many Google Education logos, but that's okay. The more the merrier. So just get our comment off the screen. Me karakia tātou. Kia whakairia te tapu, kia wātea ai te ara. Kia tūra ki whakataha ai. Kia tūra ki whakataha ai. Haumi e, hui e, tai ki e. Ka kite, nai te rā.